my slightly different setup as before, but like today I'm actually going to be getting into footwear. Something I've been using for years. Minimalist shoes. These are kind of like a Vibrams type of shoes. Now if you can, like, for instance, you got your big clunker traditional boots and stuff, and like there's really not much movement that you can have. These ones that are used you can imagine in industrial settings, warehouses and manufacturing. And of course you got your traditional shoes, and there's really not much give with them. So compared to like I said, just showed these, there's really nothing to them. And so when you put them on your feet, there's really no, yeah, there's really not much and everything to them. So most people would think okay, well, there's not much protection and everything. So for instance, you might be out mowing your lawn, oh, I'd rather use something like these or whatever if I'm mowing my lawn, because I get more protection and everything. It's but the thing is in a rare case of an extreme situation where you do have an accident, stuff like these aren't going to offer much more protection compared to something like this. But that's extreme rare. It's one in a billion case that you're gonna get into an accident or something. So the whole concept of wearing something like those, or I mean, you also got zero boots, and these are the ones that I usually use at work and everything. So there's really not much to these either. So you can do a comparison between the two. So there's a lot you can see the actual difference and everything. So I've been using shoes like these for pretty much years now, and I've noticed a big difference with my feet and everything. It seems my foot strength has increased a lot. And of course you also got of course I got beat up pair, and kind of a pair of zero shoes. And now I'm not sponsored or anything with Zero Shoes or Vibrams or anything. It's just something that I came across several years ago, and I've started using. And these definitely seem very more beneficial for me. So like I said, here's a different pair of Vibrams that so I've gotten several different pairs over the years. And so the whole concept with these minimalist shoes is that it gives you more control over your feet, because that's pretty much the only point of contact you have with the ground pretty much throughout the day. Because I mean, sitting down right here, you're sitting on your butt and everything, but when you actually stand up like that, the only point of contact you have with is to the ground is your feet. So what I've noticed is the stability with my feet is it's helped tremendously. And of course you do have that arch in your foot and everything, and the whole concept of the arch is the strongest structure there is. And but people can probably get more into the science and stuff like that and everything, but there are some people that don't have that arch and are completely flat-footed. So that might be the exception. If that's the case for you, that these might not be as beneficial. But for the vast majority of people, using stuff like these, or if you do want better ankle support, you get these zero boots and stuff. So the whole concept is if you look at in a sense our evolution, when we were hunters and gatherers, we didn't necessarily have these big clunky boots and stuff to give us technically support or whatever. And we didn't have these industrial settings in warehouses, working in manufacturing, or working on concrete, or I should say tiled floors in restaurants and everything. So when we were hunters and gatherers, we had to rely on maybe leather, animal skins and stuff like that to protect in a sense protect our feet. Uh, and of course, like when we evolved into agriculture, of course, like we still didn't have the same kind of like modern footwear that we have. So we had like a back, if you look at it like back then and through like a hunter gathering agriculture and maybe up until probably the industrial revolution, we didn't have like a and necessarily like the good old modern amenities of footwear that we now have and everything. So like we had like our feet evolved to get that arch to be able to support like the balls of our feet and to go run on them. And so the idea of the minimalist shoes is trying to get back to that concept and everything, and looking at like, okay, well, do we necessarily need modern shoes? Now, I did come across once on the internet that there was this guy who actually did train himself and ran the Boston Marathon barefoot, and like to kind of prove that, like, hey, look, you don't need all these fancy shoes and everything. So like anything, you'll have to look at the unique situation that you're in. And I'm big on advocating for these because, like I said, I've been using these for like several years, for like 3.5, 4 years now, and I've noticed a difference. I've noticed like foot strength has gone up. I definitely feel like I have more control, and how I walk, and I'm more conscious of and I can feel the ground better underneath my feet and everything, which like I said, gives me more control on how I walk and everything. So I mean, it's going to take some getting used to, and if like you're looking if to get into trail running, like the guy I mentioned that I came across that trained for the Boston Marathon to run barefoot and everything, it's one of those things like you can't go from 0 to 100 right off the bat. It's just like anything, like it's one of those things that you have to get used to. So you have to maybe you're looking at probably like $30-40 for a pair like this and everything, and over this you get for instance, me being in the Northeast, we got winter coming, so what you could do is with winter months coming is pick them up maybe during the winter, and then in the spring start using them. Or I have the pairs of Zero boots. What you could do is pick up those and use them during the winter to try and get ease yourself into it and everything. So it's like I said, this is just one of those things where I came across several years ago. I started incorporating it. I've noticed a difference, and so you, like I said, you kind of had to ease yourself into it, and you can't go from 0 to 100 from if you're used to doing trail running, you can't and using your typical running shoes. What you want to do is you don't want to go from using your running shoes to all of a sudden oh, I'm going to use these now. What you want to do is ease yourself into it. So I said, we're heading into the winter months now, so getting Zero boots, what would be great is doing something like that so you can get used to it over the winter months, and then as your feet adapt to it and everything, you kind of in the spring months, you get back into trail running, you can start easing yourself into it. You start walking on trails with a pair of these, so you can get used to walking on the ground and everything, and then you just kind of start slowly building yourself up. You start jogging with them, and then you actually get into the actual trail running. Now I haven't done trail running myself in a while, but I did actually use these shoes a couple of times when I was trail running a couple years ago, and I've definitely noticed the difference too and everything. So but the big thing is though, if you're going from your big clunky shoes like this and everything, I don't have any necessary running shoes to do a comparison to stuff like these, but you're going to have to kind of try different things. Maybe instead of just jumping right into trail running with your Vibrams, your minimalist shoes, try like using them on like an elliptical, like go to the gym using it on an elliptical, or like maybe start walking on the treadmill or something. Like you're gonna find ways to try and ease yourself into using them. And so like the easiest way to ease yourself into them is like I said, get a pair of like zero boots and you start wearing them around work or something, or like start wearing like the minimalist shoes or whatever when you're just like you go out for walks and stuff. So like this is like so like I said, this is just something I've gotten into over the past several years, and this is just something that's been beneficial for me that I've noticed, because it's definitely helped. Like I felt like it increased my foot strength. Is definitely no I've noticed being more cognizant of how I walk, and like it's definitely helped like my with my stride and stuff, and like and think of like your like whole body is like a in a sense like a Jenga set. Like if like one thing with all your joints is out of line, then the whole system goes out of line. And of course, like I said, with like your feet being like the for the most part your only contact with the ground, that's pretty much where it starts. So this is why like I got into like using minimalist shoes and everything. So this is like just another thing that's been beneficial for me over the past several years. So like this is just something else that you can get into. Now I do know like the Bioneer channel that I've done a video on a while ago, he's big into into these as well, and he's done he's, or at least mentioned them on several of his videos. So this is definitely something worth looking into as well. So this is just like another thing that you can look into to help yourself improve in life, and not just like recovery based or like what I've gotten into before. But this is just something that anybody can use.